Breaking Bad gave us unforgettable characters and jaw-dropping moments. But what if I told you that Saul Goodman was the true winner in the end? While Walter White's descent was inevitable, Saul played the long game and came out on top in ways many didn't notice. In today's video, we're breaking down how Saul Goodman managed to come out as the unlikely victor. Saul Goodman, the charismatic criminal lawyer from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, embodies the complexities of morality, choice, and redemption. Throughout his journey, he navigates the murky waters of legality and ethics, often using his sharp wit and charm to exploit the system he claims to understand. However, beneath his flashy exterior lies a man deeply affected by the consequences of his actions. This video explores Saul Goodman's transformation from a morally ambiguous figure into a man striving for honesty and redemption, highlighting how he ultimately won by seeking to make amends for the lives he helped ruin. From his very first appearance, Saul Goodman captivates audiences with his brash confidence and irreverent humour. He presents himself as a flashy lawyer, eager to help those in desperate need. His catchy tagline, "Better Call Saul," becomes a lifeline for criminals and outcasts alike, reinforcing his image as a saviour for the downtrodden. However, this image masks a much darker reality. Yet, as he helps others evade justice, Saul also contributes to the spiral of violence and chaos surrounding them. The consequences of his choices ripple outward, affecting countless lives and leading to tragedy. He rationalises his actions with a mix of bravado and moral ambiguity, effectively becoming a mirror reflecting the moral decay of the world around him. As Breaking Bad progresses, Saul's actions lead to devastating consequences. He witnesses the fallout from his clients' decisions, often choosing to ignore the human cost. For instance, he is well aware of the violence that permeates the drug trade, yet opts to look the other way when it suits him. This complicity raises significant moral questions about his character. Can a person be both charming and fundamentally good while participating in systems of destruction? Saul's motivations are complex. He often appears driven by self-preservation and a desire for financial gain, leading to a detachment from the lives he impacts. The people who come to him for help often end up worse off, illustrating the tragic irony of his supposed role as a fixer. While he presents himself as a protector, he is, in many ways, a predator in a world of desperation. Throughout Breaking Bad, Saul demonstrates a profound lack of accountability. His ability to navigate the legal system allows him to escape the consequences of his actions repeatedly. However, as the series unfolds, the weight of his decisions begins to manifest in more profound ways. Saul becomes increasingly aware of the lives he's affected, creating a tension between his charming facade and the guilt that starts to fester within him. The turning point in Saul Goodman's character arc comes in the form of a personal crisis. The events surrounding Walter White's descent into darkness and the ultimate fallout from their criminal endeavours force Saul to confront the reality of his choices. When he realises the extent of the destruction wrought by the empire he helped build, Saul's charming facade begins to crack. In Better Call Saul, this introspection deepens as we witness his transformation from Jimmy McGill to Saul Goodman. The series explores his early life and the choices that shaped him, shedding light on the complex web of personal and professional influences that led to his moral decline. As he grapples with his identity and the consequences of his actions, Saul's internal conflict becomes more pronounced. This realization propels Saul toward a path of self-examination and eventually the pursuit of redemption. In the final chapters of Better Call Saul, we witness Saul's struggle for redemption. His journey becomes one of self-awareness as he begins to recognize the damage he has caused. This process is gradual and fraught with challenges. Saul grapples with guilt, shame, and the lingering allure of his former life. The tension between his old persona and the desire to change creates a compelling narrative of transformation. One of the most poignant aspects of Saul's journey is his relationship with Kim Wexler. Kim represents a moral compass in Saul's life, a figure who challenges him to confront his darker tendencies. Their relationship is a delicate balance of love and manipulation, with Kim often acting as both a catalyst for change and a reminder of Saul's capacity for destruction. As their paths diverge, Saul is left to navigate his own journey toward integrity. Saul's pursuit of honesty culminates in a series of choices that reflect a newfound commitment to doing what is right rather than what is expedient. In the face of mounting evidence against him and the potential for severe consequences, Saul takes steps to distance himself from the criminal world he once revelled in. He begins to seek out ways to atone for his past, demonstrating that he is capable of change. A significant aspect of Saul's transformation is his willingness to confront the ghosts of his past. Unlike many characters who evade their mistakes, Saul's journey demands that he face the consequences of his actions head-on. This process is painful, forcing him to acknowledge the lives he has shattered and the innocence he has compromised. In one of the series' most emotional moments, Saul has the opportunity to testify in a way that could exonerate some of his victims. Instead of falling back on his old tricks, he makes the conscious choice to tell the truth, knowing it may come at a significant personal cost. This moment crystallizes Saul's evolution from a self-serving conman to a man willing to bear the weight of his conscience. Through these moments of confrontation, Saul begins to reclaim his identity. He transforms from a man defined by his mistakes into one who takes responsibility for them. This shift marks a significant departure from the character we met in Breaking Bad, illustrating that personal growth is possible, even for those who have strayed far from the path of righteousness. In the end, Saul Goodman finds a kind of peace not through wealth or power, but through honesty and accountability. He understands that true redemption does not come from erasing the past, but from acknowledging it and making amends. His final choices reflect a man who is no longer willing to hide behind a facade or exploit the vulnerability of others. Saul's last stand is not about escaping the consequences of his actions, but about facing them with integrity. This shift from evasion to acceptance marks his ultimate victory. By embracing the truth of his past and seeking to make amends, Saul transforms his narrative from one of destruction to one of redemption. This journey is a testament to the complexities of human nature and the possibility of change. Saul's character resonates with audiences because it reflects the struggle many face when grappling with their own moral dilemmas. His evolution serves as a reminder that even the most flawed individuals can seek a path toward integrity. Saul Goodman's story is one of charm and deception, but ultimately it is a tale of redemption. While he begins as a figure deeply entrenched in the moral grey area, his journey leads him to confront the consequences of his actions. By choosing to embrace honesty and accountability, Saul transforms from a conman into a man seeking redemption. In the end, Saul's victory lies not in escaping his past, but in facing it head-on. His evolution serves as a powerful reminder that no matter how far one strays, the path to redemption is always within reach. Through his story, we learn that the quest for integrity is a profound journey, one that requires courage, humility, and an unwavering commitment to change. Saul Goodman may have been a product of a corrupt system, but his ultimate triumph is a testament to the human spirit's capacity for growth and transformation. The strategic legacy of Gus Fring, why he should have survived. In the world of Breaking Bad, few characters stand out as sharply as Gus Fring, the enigmatic drug kingpin portrayed by Giancarlo Esposito. A man of few words but immense influence, Gus represents a blend of meticulous planning, business acumen, and a chilling sense of control. His death at the hands of Walter White, a pipe bomb detonated during a tense confrontation with Hector Salamanca, left audiences stunned and questioning the narrative choices that led to such a dramatic end. From the moment Gus Fring is introduced, he is depicted not merely as a drug lord, but as a legitimate businessman. His fast food chain, Los Pollos Hermanos, serves as a front for his expansive drug operation, showcasing his ability to operate in two worlds simultaneously. This duality illustrates Gus's strategic thinking. He understands that maintaining a facade of normalcy is essential for his survival in the treacherous drug landscape. Gus is not your typical kingpin. Unlike other characters driven by ambition and brutality, he operates with a code of conduct. He is willing to negotiate and collaborate, demonstrating a level of respect for his partners that sets him apart. This approach allows him to cultivate relationships based on mutual benefit rather than fear. He engages with his employees and associates, ensuring that they understand their value in his carefully constructed empire. Gus's willingness to hear others out is one of his defining traits. Throughout Breaking Bad, he demonstrates the ability to assess situations from multiple angles, making calculated decisions that often favour a strategic compromise. His partnership with Walter White, despite being fraught with tension, showcases Gus's understanding of the balance of power. He recognises Walter's brilliance and initially respects him as a partner, even when their interests inevitably clash. In one notable instance, Gus agrees to work with Walter in a way that respects both their strengths. He acknowledges Walter's expertise in chemistry, utilising it to produce a superior product. This collaboration highlights Gus's pragmatic approach. He's not driven solely by a desire for domination, but rather by the recognition that alliances can be mutually beneficial. His death, therefore, not only represents a loss for himself, but also a loss for the strategic potential of such partnerships in the drug trade. Gus Fring is a master tactician, always thinking several steps ahead. He maintains a calm demeanour, even in the face of adversity, demonstrating an uncanny ability to remain composed under pressure. This characteristic is particularly evident in his interactions with Hector Salamanca, where he plays a long game, allowing Hector's animosity to fuel his own strategic agenda. Gus understands the chessboard of the drug world better than most, viewing every player as part of a larger game. His death, resulting from a sudden explosion, feels like a betrayal of the character's meticulous nature. Throughout the series, Gus plans for every eventuality, always prepared for conflict. His demise, orchestrated by Walter White in such a chaotic manner, undermines the carefully constructed persona he has built. Gus's death seems less about the culmination of a strategic battle and more like an abrupt narrative choice that diminishes the character's legacy. The irony of Gus Fring's death lies in how it contradicts his strategic nature. Throughout the series, he navigates the treacherous landscape of the drug trade with finesse, avoiding direct confrontation whenever possible. His ability to control outcomes is a testament to his skill. He doesn't rely on brute force, but rather on manipulation and foresight. In stark contrast, Walter's decision to use Hector Salamanca as a weapon illustrates a reckless approach to power. This approach not only leads to Gus's death, but also highlights Walter's growing desperation and moral decline. Gus, a character grounded in strategy and restraint, is outmaneuvered by Walter's impulsive and vengeful tactics. Had Gus survived, he would have continued to operate from a place of calculated control, perhaps even leading to a shift in Walter's trajectory. Had Gus Fring survived, the implications for the narrative of Breaking Bad and its surrounding universe would have been significant. Gus's presence would have introduced new dynamics, challenging Walter White's burgeoning ego and sense of invulnerability. Their rivalry would have evolved, potentially forcing Walter to confront the reality of his actions in a more profound way. Gus's survival could have reshaped the drug landscape in Albuquerque. With his meticulous planning and diplomatic approach, Gus might have re-established order in a chaotic world. Rather than resorting to violence, he could have used negotiation and strategic alliances to consolidate power. This approach contrasts sharply with Walter's increasingly reckless decisions, which often lead to collateral damage and the destruction of lives. In the face of Walter's rising empire, Gus could have sought to undermine him strategically, perhaps even leveraging his existing network to dismantle Walter's operation from within. By pitting Walter against other adversaries or subtly orchestrating conflicts, Gus would have exemplified the power of patience and strategic thinking. This could have added layers of complexity to the narrative, enriching the story with themes of power, control, and the consequences of ambition. Gus Fring's character can be viewed as a reflection of real-world business ethics, particularly in high-stakes environments. His ability to navigate complex relationships and make pragmatic choices underscores the importance of compromise and respect in successful business practices. In many ways, Gus serves as an archetype of a successful businessman who understands that relationships are built on trust and mutual benefit. By portraying Gus as a character who embodies these principles, Breaking Bad presents a nuanced view of morality in the business world. His survival would reinforce the idea that success does not always come from ruthlessness. Sometimes it's about strategic thinking and the ability to adapt. Gus's death may have underscored a narrative of unchecked ambition leading to downfall, but his survival would highlight the power of ethical business practices, even in the most corrupt environments. Gus Fring's legacy is one of complexity. He is not merely a villain, but a multifaceted character who operates under a distinct moral code. His death signifies a loss not just for the character, but for the richness of the narrative itself. A surviving Gus would have continued to challenge the status quo, providing a counterpoint to Walter White's moral decline. The narrative tension between Gus and Walter is a central theme of Breaking Bad, representing the struggle between order and chaos, control and recklessness. By removing Gus from the equation, the series sacrifices a level of sophistication that could have propelled the story into deeper explorations of power dynamics and ethical ambiguity. In retrospect, Gus Fring's character serves as a compelling reminder of the balance between ambition and ethics. His strategic mindset and willingness to engage in compromise illustrate a depth that is often overshadowed by the brutality of the world he inhabits. His death feels premature, a narrative choice that sidelines a character who could have continued to evolve and challenge the protagonists. Ultimately, Gus Fring should have survived, not only for the sake of his character, but for the narrative richness he brought to Breaking Bad. His continued presence would have allowed for deeper explorations of power, strategy, and morality, enhancing the story's complexity. Gus's legacy, as a businessman who operated with both cunning and respect, is a testament to the idea that even in the darkest worlds, the principles of negotiation and compromise can prevail. In a world often driven by chaos and revenge, Gus Fring stands as a beacon of strategic thinking and ethical conduct. His survival would have not only kept his character alive, but would have also enriched the tapestry of Breaking Bad, leaving audiences to ponder the complexities of morality, power, and the choices that define us.